And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? Let's talk about things that really matter to you right here.
Thank you so much for taking my question. It feels an honor, and I'm very excited. So my question is, as a child, as I was growing up, my parents did not allow me to make decisions. So now, as an adult, I have to make decisions, and I struggle with making decisions, trusting myself. So I've been working on it a lot, but I'm not at the point where I can make decisions with confidence, and I really want to get to the point where I can just make decisions right away and not going back and forth, double checking, triple guessing, and things like that.
You're emphasizing what we were talking about already here today, about how if you're not in the receiving mode and you don't know what the receiving mode feels like, then you don't have any real confidence. That's why we said that Esther asks herself regularly, where did that thought come from? Was it the receiving mode of my broader perspective, or was it the receiving mode of something bothersome? And so we don't want you to make a decision that you're going to be quick at deciding. We want you to make a decision that you're going to figure out how to get into alignment so that you know from where the information is coming. You've presented something really important here, because so many people feel this same way. They were trained by their parents or by society, and to a certain extent you train yourself and others to this, to look to others for decisions. And then when those others aren't there to make the decisions, then you feel that you cannot make a decision. But that was never the best way anyway. So look at it this way. Now you're free from the interference of others who believe that they are the best decision makers for you. You're free to tap into where the best answers have always been. Doesn't that feel better?
It does.
Can you feel how you're sort of arguing for your limitation? Well, I never learned to make decisions. The next thing we want to say is, when you're in alignment and the thought comes, it's strong, and it's an impulse that is so strong that it is not something that you equivocate over. When you can't make up your mind, it's because you've got split energy. And so what you're really talking about is staying focused upon what you want long enough that there's enough momentum going that then it's an easy decision to make.
And what if I don't know what I want? Like, I want to make the decision that is best for me, but I can't figure that out. How do I figure that out?
Do you accept that your inner being does know what decision is best for you?
Right, I do.
So doesn't it seem like a good idea that you would put yourself in a position where you could hear that? We're talking about almost two different things. You're saying, I want to make the best decision, and we say, you want to receive the best decision. You say, yeah, I want to receive the best decision. We say, then you got to get in the receiving mode. And you see, that's why we love you so much. We're speaking to you and a lot of other people. It's your own doing that your parents did all that making of decisions for you, because you were insecure about it. Hear what we're saying. If you don't know how to get into the receptive mode, so you're just asking around what others think, so you're not in the receptive mode, then they're eager to offer suggestions to you, but they can no way give you any kind of depth and breadth and clarity of an answer that your inner being can. Nobody who's physically around you, even your parents who love you so much, they don't know what's in your vortex. They don't know how it all meshes together. They don't know what your true path is. So can you hear how this question is a little different than you're asking it? Your real question is, all right, I accept that the answers are in the vortex and that my path is laid out in there. How can I tune into that? And why am I insecure? Why do I keep changing my mind? And we say, it's because you're not consistently in the receptive mode. If you were, then you'd know.
So I didn't practice long enough to figure that out, what feels right and receptive?
You just have to figure it out. That's what we meant earlier when we say, if you meditate and quiet your mind and then you get an idea and you follow the idea and it really turned out to be a good one, then you say, this process works. I think I'll do this more often. And so then you listen or you feel for those answers. And here's the thing that we really want you to hear. When you're getting receptive mode answers, they are so powerful and so dominant, you don't say, I wonder if I should do that. You say, get out of my way. This is what I'm going to do. And if it feels any other way than that, it's not receiving mode answers. It's opinions, or things that you're doing because you're worried about what would happen if you don't do it. That's pretty clear, isn't it?
Yes, and I do meditate a lot, and I have the ability to raise my vibration and get into like a higher state. But then when I have a problem or want a solution or an answer, I sit down to meditate, and sometimes I just can't get that clarity because I already have an expectation.
Because when you're asking a question, you can't receive the answer. They're two different vibrations. So if you wait until you're in the middle of a problem and you've got all this problem activated within you and you sit to quiet your mind, first of all, it's harder to quiet your mind. And next, you're not really in a clear receptive mode because your channel's kind of all convoluted. So that's why we encourage that you meditate. And here's really the answer to what you're looking for. Because we know that you meditate, we can feel that you get into that clear place. This is what you want to know. It's important that you put some separation between asking the question and receiving the answer. Because if you sit to receive the answer while the question's all active within you, it won't get through. Because the vibration of the question and the vibration of the answer are such different frequencies.
So how do I do that? Ask the question and forget about it?
That's a perfect question. Understand that life has caused you to ask the question over and over and over again. The question has been asked. You don't have to go back and double around on it. It's been asked. 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 And it's been asked so well over a course of time that the answer is really well formulated. So now let the question go and meditate to receive the answer. When you meditate and ideas start dropping into your mind, it's lots of different answers to lots of different things. But remember what we said earlier about the path of least resistance? You see, what most think, and maybe even what you're thinking that if I could get in the receptive mode, then I could get an answer from my inner being that is as direct and forthright as the answer from my parents was, where they will stand and they will speak clearly and loudly and over again until I get it. Where your inner being, since you're translating it, you have to get good at translating it, you see, and that takes a little bit of practice. And most aren't very good at it because they haven't yet put separation between the question and the answer. So the whole time that they're listening for the answer, they're all balled up in the question. So they can't really hear it. And then when the impulse comes from the receiving mode of the question, rather than from the receiving mode of the answer, haven't said that before. If you're beating the drum of the question, then that's the receiving mode you're in. And all you're going to do is get more answers that help you to identify more clearly that, yes, this is indeed a problem. Or, yes, this indeed is a question. So you have to put separation between the question and the answer. And then, when it first comes, it might seem off the subject, but you have to just trust it because it was loud and clear. We've been telling the story. You may have heard it, but we're going to tell it in a very condensed version right now so that you can understand. So what Esther's never-ending question is, how can I be in a position where I can be of more value to more? That's what Esther is about. That's what she's come to realize. That's what she wants. There's nothing that she appreciates or enjoys more than this, being in a position where she can open her vortex and allow answers to your questions to flow through. So that's a question that is just always rumbling in the vibration of Esther. So she meditated one morning, got a really strong impulse coming out of meditation, the strongest impulse to go play with her music system, which she hadn't played with. She didn't really understand it. It's in a house in California. She figured it out within a few minutes, discovered all kinds of different music, got settled in on rap, which was new for her to listen to, really enjoyed it.